Hey modern agents, I'm here today. Got my workout clothes on, kind of look like shit, but I don't really care. By the way, this video contains a few choice words, so if you get offended easily by words, then you should probably stop watching. Just a disclaimer. Today's video I just wanted to make about perception. And the question I want to ask everybody watching is, to what degree are you taking action or not taking action based on other people's perception of you? Based on other people's expectations, to what degree are you not living the life that you want to live? Okay, so in this world, unfortunately, we have stereotypes. They happen. If you're white and you're from the South, oh, you must like country music. If you're Hispanic, oh, you must listen to salsa music. That must be your favorite music. Well, fuck all that shit. Fuck stereotypes. Fuck fitting in just for the sake of it. And what I mean by that is, I'm from the South, and country music is far from my favorite music. And I'm not bashing people who like country music. I'm just saying that just because there's a perception on something does not mean that you have to fit into it. Okay? I know plenty of old people in this business who use this excuse. Oh, well, they say this to me all the time. I'm old, so I don't get technology. I don't understand all this. That's bullshit, dude. You're automatically putting yourself into a stereotype, and you are that because you say you are. But really, the excuse is you're just not learning it. It's kind of like when people say that they don't have enough time for something. Not having enough time is the biggest bullshit excuse in the human existence. Okay, what you're really saying when you say you don't have enough time to do whatever it is that you're talking about, what you're actually saying is that's not a priority, if you're being honest. So, stereotypes, I was just thinking about it because I was working out at the gym and we were talking, and we've gotten some hate recently. Not hate, but shit from people who, say who we used to be, what we used to be like. For years and years, 10 years to be exact, I played in a band. I was a drummer for a rock and roll band, several rock and roll bands. I had long ass hair down to my tits, and I thought I was really fucking cool, because I was. Anyways, I had this perception. I was revolting against what society thought I should, hold myself to. And over the years, I realized that I wasn't, it took me a long time to realize this. I realized I wasn't living the life that I wanted, but I still had long hair and I was still playing in a band, because over the years, I developed this sense that I had to keep up with the perception of what people thought I was. Even though my initial reasoning for doing all this was to rebel against what society thought, then I became the very thing that I was going against, which I really did care about. Oh, well, people think I'm this crazy awesome rock and roll drummer, so therefore I have to keep being this. I can't be anything else. I can't be too successful, or I can't go into sales because that's not me, or I don't want people to think that differently of me. So what really changed me was when I started reading books. And when you read the right books, they get you asking the right questions, which everybody should be asking yourself. What is it that you want out of life specifically? And once you ask yourself that, you can start writing it down, and it opens up a whole new doorway to possibilities of what your life could be. Now, even when people do this, they're still very afraid. I know I was, of what people might think of you. Oh my God, what if they talk shit about me? What if they say that that's not me, Which they do, and they will. But the point of this video is I'm telling everybody to get the fuck over it. And again, sorry if you're offended by cursing. Really sorry that I'm not sorry. But once you know your worth, you can control your life on a whole other level. And one of the byproducts is controlling the frame. Now, if you don't know what the frame is, then I suggest reading this book called Pitch Anything, where the frame is basically when you walk into a room and you have so much confidence that you walk into the room and you're the shit and you know it, and you don't even have to say words, and people know that you're the shit too. When this happens, there's going to be a lot of haters. There's going to be people that try to throw jabs at you. And I don't mean literally, well, sometimes literally, but you know, they'll try to throw verbal jabs at you, try to bring you down on their level, because that's just human nature. It's what I call crabs. You know, crabs, when they're all in a bucket, and one crab tries to get out, all the other crabs pull him back in. So no crab can escape a bucket. And when people throw these jabs at you, you could do one of three things. Number one, you could throw a jab back, you know, which actually ultimately makes you look weaker. I don't recommend that. Number two is you could dodge it, which, you know, avoid the situation as a whole. Or number three, you could stand there and let that shit bounce off you like Superman, which is what I recommend. So, again, that's knowing your worth. When you know who you are and what you stand for, none of that other bullshit will affect you. So, I actually taught a class on something similar to this, and it was, I wanted this class to be exciting. I wanted people to learn things, and I wanted to teach them things that I know that, quite honestly, a handful of people have been asking me to teach. So I wanted to make it exciting. I wanted to make it me, and I did. And in the process, actually afterwards, I got chewed out because I said a couple of curse words. I said, and it's not like I was throwing them out there. It's not like I was like, shit, fuck the entire time. What I did say was, hey, if you want to become successful, you got to do this shit. And little things like that. So I guess these people were concentrating more on the words and not the content, but actually as a whole, there were about 40 people at this class. They all said it was one of the best classes they've ever seen. I kicked ass and I knew it. Point is, before the class, I thought about it. I was like, dude, should I hold out? Should I like not really be my true self? And then I thought, no, fuck that. Like, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to give this class my all. And you know what? By the end of it, it was the best freaking class that I've ever taught. It was one of the best classes that was taught. And several people came up to me afterwards, said it was, they learned a shit ton. So, I don't know. You get what you focus on. If you focus on curse words, oh no, he said that. Well, then that's all you're going to think of. So, be you. Don't let society dictate your decisions. If you know that you're destined for success, be that. Don't be afraid. You know, people always talk shit. That's a byproduct of leveling up. It's a lonely place on the top, and if you want to be there, you got to accept that shit and own up to it. So that's what this video is about. We were talking about, you know, people who just kind of talk about our past and are like, oh, well, you know, Jim and Joe used to be this. They used to be these fucked up rock stars playing in bands. Well, first of all, A, you're goddamn right we were. And B, if the only thing that you got on us is our past, well, then your argument is, I don't want to say it's invalid, but I'll say that it's outdated. You know, that's like talking about World War II and trying to argue about who won World War II. Like, dude, that shit already happened. It's gone. Fuck yeah. So, anyways, rant over. Remember, just be yourself. Don't give a shit about what other people think. You are destined for great things. And don't do things just because you feel like people think you should be that way. Okay? You're meant for greater things. Have a great one.